Good afternoon, everybody. Reverend Denise here from Unity Naples, here to anchor us in 15 minutes of prayer and meditation and wisdom. Today is Wisdom Wednesdays. Now, I feel a little dark here. I'm actually streaming from a different place than I have been, so the lighting's not quite right, and we can't have any music today because the little speaker I use to make it sound so great is not here. So just me with no music today. So let's take a minute. I am going to pray us in, but you can take a minute and just let me know you're here with me. Hi, Heather. Nice to see you again. So anyone who's here, let's take a moment and just pray in today. Wisdom Wednesdays. I love that. I think it's my favorite. So we do come, if you've not met me before, my name is Reverend Denise, and we do come together just simply for every weekday, just for a few minutes to center ourselves, to take perhaps our first conscious breath of the day, to celebrate really being awake, being aware, being alive. We are all about the business here of raising consciousness on our planet. That is what we are doing. And fortunately, there's a very good side effect, which is that we become happier. We become happier, more peaceful, more joyous. Our living experience becomes more satisfying. We become more comfortable in our own skins. We want, blanking who said this in the moment, somebody said, life is either a daring adventure or it's nothing, said by Helen Keller. So here's to a daring adventure. So let's just take a breath for a moment as I speak a word of blessing upon our time. So we close our outer eyes as a symbolic gesture of letting our outer world, our conditions, our situations, all of that, to simply be out in the outer world. The outer world is a crude and temporary representation of current consciousness, whether it's yours or ours. And so as we turn within, we open our inner eyes to the wonder and the awe inside of us. This power, this presence, this life of spirit, which is beating our hearts and breathing our breath. In fact, it's beating all of our hearts and beating and breathing all of our breaths, all simultaneously. And we do not do that ourselves. And so it's from this awareness of our connection to one another, from this awareness of the presence of God, from this awareness of being in the here and now, that I just speak a word of blessing upon our time together, our little 15 minutes, our little pearl in the middle of the day, to simply know that everyone gets what they came for. Whatever you need, it's available for you here. And so I know we are blessed. I know we are a blessing. We let this be. And so it is. Amen. All right, so Wisdom Wednesdays. What is our idea for the day? And I'm sorry there's no music, but I promise you tomorrow I will have it back. I could sing to you, but that would be just truly a horrible mistake for you. And I'm actually in my home, so also for my cat would not like it at all. She'd go, "No, Mom, don't sing, don't sing." So Wisdom Wednesdays, here's our quote for the day. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. This is a powerful, fundamental quantum idea of quantum physics, a powerful, essential idea of the philosophy, faith, and way of life that we live, called the New Thought Teachings. It's a core idea to how we can become masters of our fate, that we can become the architects of our own destiny, simply by recognizing that we are a player in the drama, not a victim of the drama. So it's not like life is happening and we're trying to cope. It's like we are creating it. We are designing it together and individually. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. So we can unpack that. I mean, what does what does that really mean? What does it mean? Well, it means that, I'll just give you some examples. It means that if you have an expectation that things don't work out for you, things will tend to not work out for you. If you have this idea that no matter what's going on in your life, that you're going to find good in it, then you will find good in it. I told the story of the pessimist and the optimist on Thanksgiving. And so there was two brothers. One was an optimist and one was a pessimist. And they walk into a room which is full of horse shit or horse manure. So the pessimist is complaining, and he says, "Oh, it really stinks in here. My shoes are getting all dirty. This is terrible, terrible, terrible. Why is this room full of horse manure?" And the optimist is flinging horse manure everywhere. And the pessimist, his brother, goes, "What are you doing? How can you stand this?" And the optimist says, "Well, if all this horse shit is in this room, then there's got to be a pony in here somewhere." So it's kind of like that there are very few things in the world that we can control. In fact, very few things. In fact, really nothing. Really nothing. And have you tried to control your family, or tried to control your employer, or tried to control politicians, or tried to control a pandemic? It's like it's not possible to control anything. But what we do control, what we do have mastery over, is our thoughts. We have mastery over what we think. Now, it might not feel like you have mastery over what you think, but you do indeed. So if you are looking at things a certain way, which, by the way, we all are, because we're raised that way. We're indoctrinated to think a certain way. Ernest Holmes said, you don't teach a person what to think, teach them how to think. So we can practice and become very good at pivoting from negativity to positivity, from pivoting to doomsday thinking to possibility thinking, from pivoting from everything's against me to everything is for me. These are affirmations, powerful declarations of truth, that when we truly change, not just the words, but when we change them and we embody them, then our outer world begins to reflect them. Why? Because we architect our own lives. Literally, we move molecules with our thoughts. And by the way, this is not a leap of faith anymore. This is kind of a proven thing. If you pray over one potted plant and don't pray over another potted plant, the potted plant you prayed over grows more, faster, bigger. They've done studies where they've had people pray over the crime rate of a city, and they could visibly see the crime rate decrease on the city that's being prayed over. So we live in a physical world that is governed by, created by, molded by thought. So that's your practice for the week, is to see if you can change the way you're looking at things. If you have a situation and you're looking at it from a negative perspective, it's not going to work out, it's terrible, I'm not going to get what I want. Just try, play with it. Play with expecting something different. Change the way you look at it, and perhaps the thing itself will change. I say it's worth a try, don't you? All right. So let us take a few minutes to meditate together. Since we don't have music, we can actually take a little more time than we normally do. So if you haven't already, begin to settle into wherever you are sitting, or wherever you are. Just settle in there. See if you can bring all of your attention to this moment. See if you can let the past be, let the future be. Let them just be where they are. They're not real. Neither one's real. The only real thing anywhere ever is this moment. Right now. The whole world gets created out of this now moment. So see if you can bring yourself there. And when you've brought yourself there, begin to close your outer eyes. begin to take some deep, full inhales, perhaps deeper than you've taken all day. Inhale all the way up to the top of your lungs, right? So you can really feel your chest expand. And then exhale out all that you do not need, right? We're breathing in fresh prana. We're breathing out stale prana, right? We're breathing out what we don't need anymore as we breathe in everything we need. And so as you do that, if you're sitting there breathing consciously, begin to invite your body to surrender. Surrender to where you are sitting. Feel your shoulders drop away from your ears. Feel your jaw get nice and relaxed. Let your heavy bones in your legs get heavier. If you have any pain or discomfort or dis-ease or tension in your body, just when you inhale, direct your breath to that space and place inside of this body temple that you occupy, and invite that part to cease resistance and to surrender and to release. And so once you've arrived inside your body, just begin to bring to your mind some situation, some condition, some circumstance in your life that you would like to change the way you look at. Especially if the way that you're looking at it causes you pain or suffering in any way. Now, sometimes in life, pain happens. Someone dies, you break a leg, I don't know. Sometimes pain seems to be inevitable, sometimes in life. But suffering is optional. And the suffering is a source of looking at things a certain way. So just see if there is something you can look at differently today. How can you see it through a different pair of glasses? And see if you can imagine, if you looked at it differently, how would you like it to be? Like, imagine in your mind's eye, like in this studio, this design studio in your mind, see if you can imagine it looking differently. Can you let love happen there? Can you let peace happen there? Can you just let it be? And notice if resistance comes up, and the resistance might look something like this. It can't change. It's just the way it is. It's inevitable that it's going to happen the way I see it. None of that is true or real. It truly is a thought. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change, by Wayne Dyer. So take a deep breath. Before I pray, your homework this week is whenever you notice that you are suffering in any way, whether you're worried, whether you're mad, whether you're fearful, whatever it is, just ask yourself, can I look at this thing differently? This is our wisdom for today on Wisdom Wednesdays. Can you change yourself? And if you change yourself, the things around you will change. All right, so you can stay soft and internal as I speak an affirmative prayer for us, without humming and without music, but to simply know in this moment that we are whole and perfect and complete, nothing broken, nothing missing, nothing lost. That we are made in the image and likeness of love, made in the image and likeness of perfection. And that whatever dirt and grit has been thrown upon us through this journey of living our lives, we just hose it off right now with the water of the living Spirit. And so we recognize that there is an intelligence surrounding us. There is a power, there is a presence, there is a wonder, there is mystery, there is magic. There is so much more than we believe there that we can see with our eyes or know with our nose or our touch. So we believe in this invisible world. We believe in that which is non-visible, non-physical. Why? Because that which is non-physical becomes visible or physical through an activity of consciousness. And so it's from this place of community and connection that I simply speak my word for and about each person joining me today and all those who might listen later, to simply know that we have the capacity and the responsibility to govern our thoughts. We have the capacity to change our minds. We have the capacity to steer our thinking. And what I know is when we do this, things change. We change. Life changes. People change. It's not true to think that we cannot change. It's not true. It's not true that the apple does not fall far from the tree. It is true that the apple can land a whole world away. And so I proclaim that each one of us has the courage, the tenacity, the commitment to change for the better, to make our lives better and to make a better world. And so I'm grateful. I'm grateful that we came together today. I'm grateful that we have the opportunity to pause in our life and in our days to simply be together in a moment of wisdom remembrance. And so I just release this word I've spoken into the activity of spiritual law, mental law, knowing that the words are being clothed in flesh. We celebrate this. We accept it. We expect it. And we leave this time of prayer knowing that all is well. So I do give thanks. We let this be, and we let it be together by saying, and so it is. All right. Well, so wonderful to be with you today. I'll be with you tomorrow for Thanksgiving Thursday. I'll be back in my normal place with normal music. And until we meet again, do your homework and be safe. Love to you all. Bye.